Good morning, everybody. This is Rodney Govens, a congressional candidate for the 1st Congressional District here in Arkansas. It's January 6, 2024. And 3 years later, it still hurts. I watch the news just like everybody else. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out. And I don't want to get involved in whatever's going on with Epstein, whatever's going on with Cat Williams. I don't care. I don't. Because what happened 3 years ago today still hurts. There was an insurrection at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. in an effort to decertify a free and fair election. What your feelings are on policy change, Social Security spending, whatever your issue, it doesn't matter. What happened that day is Americans lost their lives. Some of those Americans lost their lives in defense of the very democracy that we enjoy in this country. As a federal republic, we are predicated on democracy. And what happened that day amounts to bullying. You got a small group of people that want to dictate to the rest of us how we're going to live and what the results of an election are that I participated in. Because whether you think that the president incited the riot or not, doesn't matter. We watched a woman trying to break into a window get shot. Ashley Babbitt. We watched Capitol police officers get hit with weapons, get tased. We saw it on live TV. Come on, man, we better than this. We are. We're the United States of America. You know, and as a veteran, man, it hurt me because I took an oath to protect this country when I enlisted in the Army. I wasn't there, and I feel disgusted about the situation. Because when I took my oath of enlistment, man, I promised to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And make no bones about it, that small group of people, those bullies, are enemies of this country. It's what they are. Violence is never the answer. I don't care what the situation is. Violence cannot be the answer. When it comes to politics, we can have disagreements. We can have intense conversation. Don't get me wrong. But what we can't do is we can't put hands on each other, and we can't use weapons to intimidate, and we can't try to go after the vice president of the United States of America, even if you don't like him. That's not the way we need to behave. 3 years ago, my kids were 4 years old, and I remember my son asked me what was going on because I was watching it in real time on TV. And he says, Daddy, what is that? And I had to explain to my son, buddy, the number one rule in this house is we don't allow bullying of any kind. We will not bully people based on their viewpoint. We will not bully people based on their gender, based on their sexual orientation, based on their socioeconomic status. We ain't bullying people. I told him that. Now he still struggles with pronouncing socioeconomic. It is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, bullying is wrong. He knows that. I know that. And I think collectively we all know that. And that's exactly what happened that day. There are a lot of feelings and emotions about that day. And I know I have a lot. Disgust, hurt, anger, confusion. Just a lot of stuff hits me on today. But here's what I know. I know that we need to hold people accountable. And that's not what my opponent did. My opponent voted to decertify the election. He caved to those bullies. We ain't doing that. My opponent tries to say that it would have hindered a criminal investigation. No, it wouldn't have. The Department of Justice was going to investigate that criminal matter regardless. My opponent tries to hide behind a lot of rhetoric. no more. Today, I take personally, as a veteran, and as I come to you, ironically, in my 82nd Airborne Polo, right? Shouts out to Fort Bragg, All-American, baby. You cannot be a leader and cave to bullies. And it's about time that we stop doing it. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're left, whether you're right. It's time that we come together as exactly what we are. We're all Americans. And we're all Arkansans here. And the majority of the people that I talk to, everybody agrees what happened January 6th shouldn't have happened. Period. And that should be the end of it. So to everybody across the 1st Congressional District, I want you to know, you don't have to settle for the lackluster leadership that we've had for the past few years. You don't have to settle for somebody who runs and hides and caves to bullies. You can actually have a representative that represents you, that represents exactly who we are as Arkansans. The same Arkansans that go to work every day to put food on the table. The same Arkansans that struggle living paycheck to paycheck. The same Arkansans that know what it's like to be broke. Those are the Arkansans that I fight for. Hiding behind some made up rhetoric, some conspiracy theory, not willing to cast a vote, not willing to show up and do your job in Washington, much less show up to Arkansas, do your job here. We deserve better than that. And I hope that you take this ride with me. I'm committed to helping Arkansas, and I'm committed to making sure that what happened on January 6, 2021 never happens again.